Today on Tractor Hoarders, I'm going to teach you how to change your oil in your late style John Deere A. This applies to all of the John Deere 2-cylinder tractors, probably most resemblant of the A, B, and G models. We've got a bunch of oil, so I'm going to run 15W40 diesel type oil. This is just a cheap oil from Walmart. And I also have a Napa Gold 1242 filter, which we're going to use. The nice thing about these is they come with the rubber seal, and they're a little bit cheaper than the ones from John Deere. So if you change oil before on any engine, the principles on this are pretty much the same. What this video is going to show you is how to specifically do it on these types of tractors and where all the points of concern are. As you can see, it's a cold engine touching the manifold here. We're going to start this thing up, let it warm up for about 10 to 15 minutes. It's preferable to do it on an engine that's warm because that oil is going to be warm. It's going to drain out a little bit quicker, and you're going to get more of it out. And that's how it's done. So here by the belt pulley, this is where your oil filler cap is. This is just a pipe cap. So if yours is tight, you might need a pipe wrench, but we're just going to take it off. That way we have plenty of vent, so when we open up the drain plug, we just want to make sure we get the oil out as easily as possible. So right now I'm down here on the right side of the tractor underneath the belt pulley. Here's a few things you need to know about. This is the crankcase drain plug right here. This is the cap you take off to get the oil filter out. And unscrew this petcock out, and if oil comes out, it means that you've got enough in it, and that's supposed to indicate your fill level. So you don't want to go too high above that. That's just telling you this is the oil level you should be at. So because I've never changed the oil in this tractor before, we don't know what to expect. This crankcase could be overfilled with oil, gasoline, coolant. We have no idea. So I'm going to take this plug out, and we're going to see what comes out of it. Make sure if you don't know much about the tractor, like I don't know much about this one because I just bought it, get you a big 5-gallon bucket, because you'll easily overfill an oil pan if this has stuff in it that's not supposed to be there. Get ready to hold on to your drain plug. You don't want to lose this thing. And here we go. Oh, that's not what you want. So there's a lot of sludge on the bottom. That's why it's coming out so slow. That is some nasty sludge. Like, I feel like I need to put my finger up in there to help get this stuff out of the way. Ugh. It's nasty in there. I can feel it on the bottom of that crankcase. It's just a bunch of like goop. Alright, time out for a second. So what you're seeing here isn't like a little bad, this is like really bad. So if you're seeing where you got like clumps of gook and gunk coming out of your oil drain plug hole, you've got a lot of sludge in there that you need to get out. So, well, I wouldn't do this in a regular oil change. After doing one like this that has an unknown history, something you might want to consider, and I now think that I'm going to do, is I'm going to put some diesel in the crankcase, and we're going to fill it up, run the tractor a little bit to circulate the diesel through there, kind of as a cleaner. We're going to drain all of that out of there afterwards in hopes to get more of the sludge out. We do not want that in the system. That is bad, and it is catastrophic to internal engine components. So I'm going to put in at least a gallon of diesel into the crankcase. I have closed up the plug at the bottom, and we're going to start it up after I get this in there. Okay, so we ran it for about 5 minutes. I'm going to take this plug out again. So let it drip for a bit to get as much of the old oil out of there as you're able to. So now that we've drained the oil out, we are going to take off this oil filter cap, pull out the oil filter, and let some more oil drain out. This part's usually messy as well. Be ready. Come on.
Use this opportunity to clean out the canister and all the parts that you just removed to get all the gunk off.
So after you got everything clean, let's get everything back together. So here's what you're gonna do. Take your cup, put that bottom nut through there. It is a nut. Take the spring, put that on there, and then put on your plate, and then put on this little spacer thing. After that, you put your snap ring back on.
Here we're going to remove the seal from the crankcase. It might come out in pieces, but make sure to get all the pieces out.
If it's old, it might be brittle. It'll take a little effort, but make sure you get all of it out of there. If you don't, the new seal won't seal correctly and you're going to end up with an oil leak that you do not want. So next we're going to open up our new filter. As mentioned, it comes with 2 seals. Figure out which one you need for yours, and that's the one you're going to use. The new filter can go in there either direction. It's the same. We're going to put it up in there. We're going to put the seal in there, and we're going to put the cup on and tighten it. Take a little bit of new oil, put it on the seal, so when you put it up in there you get a nice good seal. Once you put it up in there, it should stay on its own. Then we're going to take the filter, put the filter up, and we're going to take this cup. You gotta be gentle with this. You'll notice there's a stud here. That's what the nut is going to tighten onto. You don't want to over tighten this because it'll break the oil filter canister, and you would not be happy if you have to replace that. I've had to do that before. Try and get your filter in there centered up reasonably well. Doesn't have to be perfect. And just tighten it up. Make sure that that cup is going into the groove where we inserted the seal, and you just want to tighten it snug. Nothing too crazy. So now that we've got that done, we're going to tighten our oil drain plug, and we're going to put in the new oil. I'm going to put that on, tighten it up, put our oil in. I told you before that we're going to put in 12 quarts. Once you put in your 12 quarts, you're going to close up that oil filler cap. We're going to start it up and make sure it builds oil pressure within the first 20 to 30 seconds. Started up, got oil pressure. Now we're going to look for leaks. Well, it started up, built oil pressure. You're going to have probably a worrisome 15 seconds or so before you actually get any oil pressure on the gauge while it gets it recirculated through all the lines. So give it some time. If you exceed 30 seconds, I'd start to get worried and maybe shut it down. So the last thing we're going to do, just to confirm that I have the oil level where we're supposed to, I'm going to open up this petcock that I mentioned earlier on the side of the crankcase, and we just want to confirm that oil comes out of it. So we're dripping there. We got just a very gentle stream, so that means we have the oil level up where it needs to be, and we know we've at least reached the minimum fill requirement. I hope you found this helpful, and we've got more videos on the way. If you're into this kind of thing, this is what we do on this channel. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and let me know in the comments what you would have done differently, if anything.